Welcome to quiz number one for airline operations for the BMS and BBA Aviation. What is crew scheduling? Fostering of aircrew, pilots and cabin crew based on their rating, that is their qualification. What license do they have? Can they follow to that particular terrain of the region or a geographical condition or a type of aircraft? Which of the following is used for servicing and repair of aircraft? Hangar. It's basically a metallic huge structure where aircraft have been parked so that it is safe enough for maintenance, repair, and servicing of aircraft. According to ICAO, all markings on the runway are painted white. Fine. But taxiways have been marked with yellow lane. Which among the following does not belong to the scheduled airline in a public sector? Aryan Cargo Express Private Limited. Remaining, these all are the governmental controlled airlines like Alliance Air is a part of Air India, a subsidy which runs their organization. Air India Express is more focused onto the cargo also on a particular sector. Which of the following ensures standardization of ATM service worldwide? Air traffic management. It is ICAO. Scheduled flight. It is a flight which flies on a set day, date, or a time based. It's called as schedule. Flights with limitation like check flights and all, they don't come under schedule. VIP flights, whenever they want, VIP requirement is that they fly. Military, of course, it is their mission and mission of flying. Flight plan briefing is done when? Before the first flight by the captain with cabin crews, where the basic information pertaining about the flight, the fuel quantity, what will be the destination, so that they all are well geared up to know where the flight happens. It's basically preparation. In that, they find a lot of information pertaining to flight meteorological data, the station where they are flying. If there is any NOTAM, a notice to captain or any special instructions, will be briefed and discussed by the airline. A leased aircraft means a party agrees to rent an aircraft owned by him on a commercial basis. How many types of leases are there in aviation? There are two types. One is dry and wet type of lease. A dry lease means a contract agreement where the owner of the aircraft provides an aircraft to an airline company without crew and ground staff. It's called as dry lease. OCC, office, which we call it as operational control center, all pertaining to operation like flying of aircraft, monitoring of those aircraft, scheduling, crew rostering, everything is done by the respective airline. There is difference in OCC and AOCC. AOCC is responsible for the entire airport. OCC is for the respective airline. Airworthy means it refers to an aircraft that is safe to fly in every aspect. Overhaul means equipment refers to intensive repairs, that is major repairs, that cannot be done online, that is in front of your ramp or a brake. Overhaul involves disassembling, cleaning, and major inspection. It requires quite long time, and usually these are being done in hangars with the MRO organization, maintenance, repair, and overhaul. CAA, Civil Aviation Authority. The respective country's aviation authority are also called as CAA. In India, Director General Civil Aviation is the CAA. ICAO means International Civil Aviation Organization. SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. These are the special instructions in event if there is a bomb threat, how we should do, who will do, what all of the responsibilities, the experience what they have gained, they come into a standard format. So it is an instruction for every employee to follow SOPs in event of special cases. Operators are companies that offer some type of airline service that is operating an aircraft. Basically, for an airline, we use the terminology as an operator. Coming to land side is the area where it is an unsecured one. Example, car parking. Anyone can come and go. Other utilities are in the unsecured area, like one is the parking lot, the other ticketing counters, where every walk-in they can do. But when entering inside the airport, that is an airside. Landside is basically an unsecured area. This doesn't have any restriction. Like you go for some see off for someone or receive someone. This is all called as landside. Airside is from terminal entrance and airport inside operation area. The time you enter the terminal building or the airport peripheral inside, which is an operational area, that side is called as air side. It is only permitted either a passenger or an employee with a valid airport entry pass or a valid ticket. A taxi track connects a runway and an apron, that is our ramp. A diverted flight, a flight change its schedule due to weather or any technical reason is a diverted flight, which is basically we categorize it as a non-scheduled flight where the place it lands because it has to be provided. It is not expected to land only on certain circumstances like bad weather, technical snag, or any other medical emergency. ATA is nothing but actual time of arrival. Expected time of arrival or an estimated time of arrival is an calculated or a programmed. But actual time is the physical time the aircraft which has arrived at the airport. In aviation terminology, PAX means passenger. ARFF, Airport Rescue Firefighting. It's a department which is a part of a safety services at every airport. It is a mandatory to have a crash fire tender vehicles in case of emergency. They have been well professionally trained how to approach the aircraft, how to fight the fire, and to handle emergency landings of aircraft on ground. They have been controlled by the air traffic control. Fuel farm at the airports are the bulk storage of aviation fuel supplies to the aircraft. Basically, aviation fuel which is been supplied to an aircraft where storage facilities is there is called as fuel farm. Role of ATC at airports to maintain separation of aircraft and allot particular set route for an aircraft and to communicate it and assist the pilot throughout the journey. DGCA issues license to pilot aircrews and aircraft maintenance engineers. Aviation security certification, we call it as AVSEC, a qualified person, a certification issued by the BCAS. It is Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. Airport Authority of India and the Director General Civil Aviation are controlled by the Ministry of Civil Aviation. They are part of a Ministry of Civil Aviation. Who controls the aircraft movement on the ground after landing and allocation of bay number and other activities? That is Airport Operation and Control Center. We call it as AOCC. The role of a custom officer at the airport is to closely monitor drug trafficking and smuggling activities. The purpose of immigration department at the international airport is to monitor accountability of people arriving and departure. It's a part of Ministry of External Affairs. A SHA area on a terminal on departure is called as security hold area, clearing the paths to board an aircraft. They are the people until unless the SHA stamping is not done, you cannot board the flight. You have a boarding pass provided you have gone through a security clearance. That department or that particular area, we call it as SHA. Frisking at a SHA area is a physical check by the security staff. Basically, they are qualified APSEC people. They have tools, various machines like imaging, scanning machines, and your metal detector, and they check physically on a suspicious baggage if they found. What does BMS stand for? That's a baggage makeup area where the baggages are being gone through an inline scanning and the baggages are being made for a respective flight wise. It's basically a sorting section.